What's up, everybody? People's Rebuttal, Zach, Flozell. What's up, man?
Whoop 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 whoop. Doing a Larry Allen whoop whoop.
Oh yeah. Did you go to California
When
for his deal?
nobody has heard anything.
Oh, okay.
I talked to I talked to Andre Gerard last week, and he said, "Flo, you hear anything?" Really, last last Wednesday I talked to you. Hear anything? Not a single thing since the announcement of his death. Uh, I'm guessing was it January? I mean, not January, June 3rd or 4th, whatever. I've not heard a thing. The guys I talked to have not heard not one thing. Uh, we're just in the air with it, so we have not heard anything. Not even memorial, funeral, or anything. And this, Sunday, probably 7 weeks. So something like that. So I'm thinking the family probably had a private memorial or funeral, which is fine. Which is fine. It's tragic for any family with the death, but that's what I'm thinking. We have, former teammates or anything have not heard one thing.
Okay. All right. So I don't know if you heard about this. Did you hear the NFL has to pay $4 billion?
That's a chance out in hell that the NFL, they don't even want to keep grass on the field for players' safety and everything. I know they won't be doing some crap like that. They're not do anything. They're not going to do anything but do what other big corporations do, because the NFL is nothing but a corporation, just backloaded in courts for the next 2 or 3 years and keep the lawyers charging and all other stuff, because they can get any lawyer they want to, and you won't hear nothing about it. They won't settle. NFL won't settle.
Yeah, no, I don't really get. I don't get what it's about. I guess that's my thing. I mean, I understand they're basically saying that, it's an antitrust. You're not getting, certain games and not allowing people just to break it apart, which I've always wished. And I think the NFL Sunday ticket would be a lot bigger if you could just buy your team. $50, $75 for the year, buy your team, whatever team you want to watch. But I've bought the NFL Sunday ticket quite a few years in a row. I bought it last year, especially when it went to YouTube TV. I'm buying it this year. I don't know. I don't get it.
The only thing I can gather from it is that the NFL had. I'm gonna give an example. ESPN, ABC, NBC. I could be 100% wrong with this, but I'm just thinking that the NFL had promised ESPN, NBC, ABC, whoever's going to show it, YouTube TV, going to show it. Hey, we're going to let you show this game if you pay us X amount of dollars. But the NFL didn't provide the game situation or whatever they had to do or how they do it. They showed it themselves, like use their own network, or maybe they even allowed another network to use the programming rights when they were supposed to give it to another. So they filed a lawsuit against them, and they won. But I don't think the NFL are going to pay anything like that. If anything, they're going to negotiate it back doors and say, "Hey, we'll give you 2 years of free, viewing rights or something that you can use and charge commercials $1 billion for 30 seconds." I mean, that's what's going to happen behind doors. NFL is not going to pay. So that's what happened with that stuff.
Well, so this is actually a group of fans who sued.
Oh, the group of fans. It was another one then. I guess forgot about that one. But the fans, I think it's about the clicks. Like maybe YouTube TV, they promise, hey, we're going to watch the Cowboys-Redskins game on YouTube TV, and that's what you have promised us, but it wasn't on when I turned it on.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I don't. Yeah. That whole thing's weird, but good luck to either side. I don't think either one's going to win this, but
this whole situation of whole problem with that whole situation is that the NFL games will be on,
Yeah,
regardless. And
they're not
those
going anywhere.
people who filed suit are still going to watch the games
Oh yeah.
and go to the game. So no matter what, so when that thing came out, whenever this antitrust lawsuit came out, the NFL just sat back and laughed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whatever, and sit on their $1 billion yachts and everything and drinking fancy champagne and Spencer Don Perignon or something. I don't know.
So it was funny. They said that when Roger Goodell testified, he was all cocky, like, da 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 da. And Jerry Jones testified, and then it was one of those things where they just assumed they were going to win because it is kind of weird what they're suing for. And in the end, $4.7 billion lawsuit.
Yeah, even if the NFL did pay it, that's like $3 out of our pocket. That's how much the NFL makes. And Roger Goodell making $40 million a year for doing nothing. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I get the owners. I get the owners. The Joneses and the Hines and all them other people, the Hunts, the Kansas City Chiefs, they own the teams. They don't do anything really, the owners, but they hire people, fire people, do anything, get all this stuff, marketing everything, and make all this money. But Roger Goodell does nothing. $40 million a year and does nothing.
He flies to games, I guess.
When he wants to.
Yeah, just whichever one he wants to go to.
When he wants to. Wait, wait a second. His deal was set to expire in spring 2024. $63.9 million annually. Are you kidding me?
You should apply for that job, Flozell.
Wait, let me read this again. $63 million annually. Oh my God.
I think he has something on the owners. I've always thought that.
He don't have nothing. Those owners, the owners have him in there because they're controlling him. They're controlling him. They don't want a new guy in who's going to sit there and try to, like Tagliabue, the last guy who was there, who actually did some stuff that was beneficial towards the players. This guy does nothing. Oh, why are you so mad at Goodell, Flo? Because he does nothing.
It makes a lot of money doing it.
$63 million.
Yeah.
The fines and everything that he does nothing. He does nothing.
What is it? Oh, Goodell, whose deal was expected to
I will be the commissioner of NFL for $1 million. I'll be the commissioner for the NFL for $1 million. I'm serious.
Man.
I heard it cost.
That dude right there.
I would cut down my salary. I mean it. I would be a commissioner of NFL for $1 million. I would say put that $50 million or however much it costs, it's probably gonna be that much, to put grass fields in the NFL stadium. No more. I mean, unless you need grass field, or like Green Bay got grass. Patriots got, I think they have the grass, but like New York has the field turf and all that stuff. I would use that salary to put grass fields in an NFL stadium. It is estimated that it costs $570,000 a year to have grass fields in a stadium. So to make it higher, $750,000. Let's say $1 million.
Chicago's going to turf in the new stadium. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Chicago sometimes. Spokesperson said the playing surface for football will be artificial turf. Although the exact type hasn't been selected, but it's artificial turf.
So 15 stadiums have grass or hybrid grass. So it says $570,000 for upkeep every year for a grass stadium. Let's just put it double, say $1 million. You have 15 stadiums that have grass, which means what is 32 teams? 17. That's $17 million a year. Put that towards the grass field.
Yeah, but then all the other teams who keep the grass are going to be like, well, we want a piece too. So you just call it $32 million a year and be done with it.
Well,
and Roger Goodell, Roger Goodell doesn't make as much money.
So be it. That sucks because, these guys on here never played on the field. Yeah. And I'm old school. I played on all three. I played on AstroTurf, man.
AstroTurf.
That's like playing on, if anybody, the grandmama's porch that had the green stuff on it. That's what it was like playing on the AstroTurf. Then they got the field turf. It's much better than AstroTurf. Very, very better. But nothing beats the grass. Nothing at all. 60 million for that guy? Come on, man.
I remember when, Houston had such problems with their turf that they actually didn't play one of their games.
Yeah, because they just had put it in.
I was in Houston when it happened. It was crazy.
They just put it in like 3 weeks before or something like that. If you were to change the stadiums to grass, let's say the NFL, they ended the season after the Super Bowl, they would have to put that grass in right after the Super Bowl for it to be good. It'll be good by September, or the preseason games in August.
Well, look what Miami does. Look what Miami does. Miami changes their grass out constantly.
Well,
but they grow it. They grow it somewhere else.
Well, that's what they do. It's sod. It's a little slip sod like you do on the house stuff. It's still sod.
But this is like ready play. As soon as they lay it down, it's ready to play on.
Well, you gotta sit there a little bit. It's gonna be bad because I've been in some where it had the little slits in it, but it has to sit a while for it to be, real good, or it's gonna start coming up with all the activity on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is. Roger Goodell makes too much damn money, and he shouldn't be a doggone commissioner. I don't think he's doing a good job at all. Just sit back and look like that dude on Dumb and Dumber.
Let's see. It was on Hard Knocks. They literally were just swapping out the grass in Miami.
Yeah. Well, shoot, they got hurricanes going through there, man, all the time, and all that rain and stuff. But, who knows? I'm not a grass expert. The only expert I'm in with grass is being a player on grass. It's the best
Putting your feet on it.
Putting my feet on it, playing it. The gridiron. That's what I know. It's better, 10 million times better than AstroTurf. 10 million times better than field turf with the little rubber tire chips in it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Did you know that's what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, rubber. Old rubber
tires. They had the soccer players who filed the lawsuit because she got cancer and she blamed it on the little black pellets inside of the.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to say about that, but everybody, if you don't know what the little rubber chips are on the field turf, shredded tires. It's not a composite.
Yeah. And that's why it, on top of helping with like designating, foot in, foot out, most people don't realize, because I have turf here at the house and you have to, but I have the antimicrobial ones, but it's what keeps the grass standing up. Because if you don't have that stuff in there, the grass just fall over.
Yeah. And then half the NFL teams that probably have field turf is not good. They don't take care of it like they used to.
Yeah.
They got I know it's a machine that has to go over it and flick it up to make the synthetic grass good, or they have to add more here and there and even it out. They don't do that. So you got
Yeah.
spots that are flat, high, anything like that. But oh well, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of saddened that they're not going to do it in Chicago.
Yeah, that's a mess right there. That's a mess. Well, like we just discussed before we logged on to this, you just going by whatever we talk about. And now we just going by the Bears. When is this stadium supposed to be completed?
Man, I don't know.
It's going to be the old Soldier, next to the old Soldier Field.
Yeah.
But they're going to keep the columns of the Soldier Field and make that a park.
Yeah, let's see. When will it be built? 2028. Bears are aiming to break ground in the summer of 25 with the planning grand opening of summer 28. I mean, that was the whole argument, at least for me. The whole argument with the stadium was to keep, what's been there forever. And the way they're doing it, I like it. I mean, I've heard people say that basically there's going to be no parking.
You've been up there plenty of times. There's no parking now.
Yeah, but I guess they had a few spots for tailgating, which are now pretty much over.
Well, I guess, hey, if anybody complain about a job, they can probably live pretty decent if they're an Uber driver just on Bear Sundays.
Yeah,
games.
and between the train,
Train going there.
There's one across the street.
No, that's Lakeshore Drive. You got to walk across the street. People are not going to want to walk across the street like that. Lakeshore Drive.
You don't think they'll build? You don't think they'll build anything for it specifically?
Well, maybe they'll build it makes sense to build a ramp or something to go over there, but that section is big. I've been over there plenty of times. Unless they make some type of railway overpass or something, and they probably will. They probably will, not even think of it. But yeah, it's going to be zero parking. I'm looking at a picture right now. Zero parking there. But
let me see.
It almost looks like the Cowboy Stadium. It's going to be indoor and retractable roof.
Yep.
Man, they're just taking the elements out of football.
Yeah, the green line's there, right across the street.
Yeah, but the access to it is you got to go all the way down to Roosevelt Road, which is something you can't see on a picture. I don't know what picture you're looking at. Cross over Lakeshore Drive to get there.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're probably going to build a walkway or something somewhere in the middle.
They're going to have to. I mean, they're going to have to do something right there. But yeah, I mean, looking at the pictures, it does look like, they're basically. I mean, it looks good. Let's just hope it's all it's cracked up to be.
I wonder how many. What it's supposed to hold.
That's a good. My other question is: Do the Bears own it? Do the McCaskies own it?
I probably doubt it. It's probably Chicago. Those McCaskies don't care about nothing. A new publicly owned multi-purpose replacement stadium. So, no, McCaskies will not own it.
So the entire argument that they were making is they wanted to own the stadium because, you got Jerry out here making a ton of money off of his. You got all these stadiums that are owned by the owners, and the whole point is to make the money for it. And so now you're saying you give that up?
Yeah. I mean, they probably get a percentage of it. They don't totally own it, but look at this. That thing is only going to hold 65,000 seats. What the hell are you going to make it for? 65,000. Michigan State has a stadium bigger than that. I mean, it don't look nice as it, but come on. You think they would make at least 80 or 90? That thing will fill up for Chicago folks.
Oh, that's Soldier Field. The new one's 70,000. The current one's 62.5. The new one's 70.
Was 70,000, and Soldier Field at 65.
Yeah.
You're thinking it'll be 80, 85.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Chicago, good old Chicago. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hope Pete Nail, what's the quarterback name? I can't think of him right now. New quarterback, number 1 draft pick.
Oh, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, Caleb Williams and his pink nails still there, and we get a couple of Super Bowls before in that thing, but we'd like to have it before. Thank you.
Man.
So we shall see.
Yeah. So I guess, and he still hadn't signed his deal again.
Man, they're gonna have to do it when they. I don't know what's taking up so long because he's not going to show up to the training camp without that deal.
Let's see.
Training camp starts tomorrow. No, Friday. And he's still not signed. 3 days. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I mean, somebody asked me this the other day with the rookies and everything. Everything is slotted. You get a percentage of what the previous pick got. It doesn't matter what position it is. So if it was a wide receiver last year and this year's quarterback, you slot it. You're going to get whatever percentage is higher from the year before. If it's a offensive tackle at number 12 and then a running back at 12 this year, he's slotted. He's still going to get it. I'm thinking the only thing that's probably keeping them is probably guaranteed money. And he's probably going to want his whole contract guaranteed.
Oh, as small as it is,
yeah.
Let's see. News. Yeah.
And one thing I just noticed, Caleb Williams is wearing number 18. Who is your best player that wore 18? Is it Mike Tomczak?
Well, he showed up. Yep. For the start of training campusing, prominent rookies remain unsigned. Caleb and Romaduze. Contract status, whether you be a port train coach done. Oh, he doesn't have an agent.
He what?
He doesn't have an agent.
So he's playing agent?
Yeah, he doesn't have an agent. I think that probably slows down a little bit. Yeah.
All right, whatever, man.
Yeah, he's been he showed up to rookie minicamp, OTAs, mandatory minicamp throughout the offseason preview, but won't have a choice with training camp. Williams, he cannot participate let alone be at Hallis Hall until a contract is signed.
Yeah, they can't go to training camp. Even if he won't. So
even if he wanted to, he couldn't.
Yeah, but I bet you he's going to be working on the next couple of days to get that guy in there. You don't want to do that.
So what happens? What happens if he says, I'm not signing?
Well, they're going to go to the second string quarterback, whoever it is, and run it off. He will be in there eventually, but if it doesn't happen, he's just going to miss those days. And the first couple of days of training camp, they throwing a book at you. I mean, you went through it to mini camp and everything. You're just going through the basics of mini camp, but you're preparing for the season. The coaches have implemented an offense to this guy, like minimally. But once you get in training camp, you get everything that's going to be played the whole year in training camp. And the first couple of days, you're getting everything. So me losing the first 5 days is very critical because that's going to slow everything down. And then we come back in day 5, they got to go back and go through everything, and it's just bad. I mean, he should be there. That's why you hear the media always talking about the players not in camp. He's going to miss this and miss that, and it definitely should be in training camp. He's a quarterback. He's the number one guy. He should definitely be there.
So, do we know if anybody's holding out this year?
CD Lamb.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's holding out. These guys are such babies these days. They want money and all the stuff. You signed a deal and you agreed to the deal that you're going to play. This is not on him. I'm just speaking general. A rookie for 4 years. And then in your third year, you want money. Okay, ask for money. And they don't give it to you. You're just going to sit out and pout until you get your money, which some of these NFL teams fold to. But maybe I'm just too old school or something because we didn't have that stuff.
No. You sign an agreement. You put your name on it. You sign your name. Say I'm gonna play for 4 years. Yep, I agree. I'm gonna sign right here. I'm gonna do. Look at what Dak's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to honor my word.
Yeah, honor that word. That's all you got to do. But
yeah,
it doesn't work that way, Zach. It doesn't work that way.
You mean nowadays it doesn't work that way?
No, nowadays it don't work that way.
And when? Because Emmett did it, right?
You talking about 30 years, man? Shoot, I don't know. If he did it, he did it after he done had like 3 or 4 rushing titles and a Super Bowl. Yeah, but CD Lamb hasn't had anything.
Yeah, I think he held. Holding out for a bigger paycheck from the Dallas front office, but Smith was quick to clarify what really happened. I didn't hold out. Holding out is when you have a contract and you want more money. My contract was over. Oh. He didn't hold out.
Yeah, there you go.
But I know he wanted more than Thurman, I think, was the deal. That was his whole...
Emmett?
Yeah, Emmett wanted more than Thurman.
Well, that holdout 30 years ago is different than these days.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't believe they paid Zeke all those years ago. He was 2 years, wasn't he? He still had 2 years left on his.
He had 2 years left on his, and I think they bit the bullet because they got scared and they felt that they were Super Bowl ready and we need this guy.
And look at you now.
I mean, he was... Now, of course, you can say that, but he was hot back then. He was hot.
Yeah, he didn't do shit. As soon as he got that money,
I know, but
it was over.
How many games he held out? 4, 5, something like that. Into the season.
Wasn't it just? Was it really?
I think he held out a couple of games.
Let's see, how long? 40-day holdout.
So that's going into the first game of the season?
Man, they paid that dude.
40-day holdout.
$90 million.
He made, I think, probably 70 of it at least because they cut him with 2 years left.
Guaranteed 50.
Oh, no, he did make the regular season.
Yeah, I think it was just training camp.
It was right at the end of training camp that he came back. Oh, well, he got it.
He did. And he's back. He's back with the Cowboys now, right?
Yeah, he's back. Is he going to be the starter?
Shit, try to get some of your money back from that $90 million. Hell yeah, make him a starter.
I know, but he signed a 1-year deal.
I know, but at least stick him out there and you know, I don't know. Toss him out there and try to get him to do something. Because it wasn't that big, was it?
What?
His 1 year deal?
Nah, it was basic, probably like 1.5 or something like that. But yeah, he's listed as a starter.
Good. Try to get some of that money back.
Well, I mean, I think he'll rush out and do a little something.
$3 million. Nope. He got a $3 million deal, including $2 million guaranteed.
I mean, you look at the small guys like us. You get $2 guaranteed. You good.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be curious to see if he's worth it. That's thought,
Well, we will most certainly find out.
Yeah, well, Cowboys fans are already, they're getting ready for Super Bowl right now.
Like, I said he win 10 games this year.
Yeah, I hope Dak does really well.
Yeah,
I do.
So this city's going to turn upside down for just 10 wins.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, man. So we lost our dancing with the oldies. Richard Simmons, 76 years old, had cancer, is my understanding. Did you ever watch his stuff? Did you ever dance to the oldies?
No.
You never danced to the oldies?
No, never danced to it. When he
was
was
out, a
out,
kid?
When he was out, I'm telling you, I was probably 6, 7 years old when he was out. But I do remember before Dancing with the Oldies, he had a regular show, like a regular TV show. My mom used to get up in the morning and do that. Yeah, aerobic show. She used to do that in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I wake up at like 6:30, get ready to go to school, and have my mom in the living room doing Richard Simmons and everything. So, yeah. But everybody remembers the Dancing to the Oldies, but he was just, but he was an aerobics instructor with a nationally televised aerobics thing.
I don't know if I ever did Dancing to the Oldies, but I do remember standing in the living room, running around to Richard Simmons stuff. I do remember it.
Yeah, Richard
I was a little kid.
Richard Simmons is probably the first person that really had a nationally televised aerobics program. Maybe. If he's not, he's one of the tops. And then people say about Jane Fonda. I think Jane Fonda had workout tapes, VCR tapes. I don't think she had a television show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she ever was. But he was so charismatic and out there and yelling at you and, peacefully, but it was still yelling at you, trying to get you moving, get you going. That was Richard Simmons' deal. He was all over the place.
Yeah, he was all energetic. I had all that energy and everything. Yeah. I read once he passed. I remember reading a story a couple of years ago, but I just read it the other day. He was like incredibly obese when he was a kid, and that's what led him to get fit and everything.
Yep.
So they say obese. We got to say obese to be right, but
you have to say obese.
No, I say he's a fat ass.
Chunkums. Yeah, I like chunkums.
And he did something about it, which I admire. I totally admire.
I can tell you right now, I was at the store the other day, and these people pulled up, because they'll let their family out of the car, and then I guess somebody else will go wait in the car, and then they'll call them, and they'll come pick them back up. It was a whole family of chunkums. Of chunkums, of fat asses. Y'all should have driven to the back of the parking lot, way back over there, and walked y'all's ass to the store.
How many was it?
Three of them. Three of them fat bastards got out of that truck. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Y'all could do some good walking. I was at the airport the other day. And, I don't like to fly. So I'm going to walk back and forth in the airport. I got 2.5 miles. Just walking through the airport, walking around the airport. And my theory behind that is, look, I'm about to sit on a plane for 2.5, 3 hours. Why do I want to sit there and wait to sit on a plane?
These people have not done anything ever in their lives, so why would they do it now?
Get your fat ass up when you're at the airport. You already know that you're going to take up 2 seats and some skinny bastard's going to be next to you and that big old fat roll's going to be over on their side. Get your ass up and at least show some effort. Walk. Get you some steps in, you fat bastards.
Come on, Zach. Tell them how you really feel.
No, that and the one thing that frustrates me more than anything is these people at Walmart that they get in these carts and they're driving around. I see an old lady in a walker cranking her way through Walmart, and I got this big old fat ass that wants to roll through Walmart. You need to be walking through Walmart and stay off the chip and candy aisle. You don't need no soda pops. You don't need it. Stay away from the ice creams.
You get candy, Zach.
They need to go to the vegetable aisle.
No, you get candy. You just got to eat it in moderation.
Well, obviously they have no fucking self-control because they're not eating it in moderation. Their fat asses are sitting there. Hell, they're eating it in Walmart.
Yeah.
And then they're going to scan that bag, half-empty bag. You're going to scan your chocolate bag. You fat bastards. Come on.
Well, it sounds like you need to get a television show so you can motivate these fat people to lose this fat.
Hey, so the other one gets me on this one. I saw a truck, big lifted truck. Didn't have, how you have rails on a big lifted truck so you can get in and out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Guy parks in the handicap. I'm like, there's no way. He must be just like dropping somebody off right there. Probably another fat ass. But no, he wasn't dropping anybody off. His ass hops out of that truck. I look up, he's got a handicap tag. And I'm like, how are you handicapped, you worthless motherfucker? Are you actually handicapped? Or are you such a pussy that you jack somebody else's handicap because you don't want to walk and you think you're special? That wow. And the fat people get the fat people get their handicap. I got a thyroid, so I need to. And I did speak to a doctor. We're not going to say that person's name, but they said a lot of these people with overactive thyroids, if they would lose weight, they would improve the performance of their thyroid.
Okay. You're just talking about people that have not ever done anything in their whole entire life. So at that time, like if you got the handicap sticker, 30, 40, 50 years old, they're not going to start.
The dude was younger than I was.
Okay.
A lot of these people are like the people who got out of that truck. It was a mom and her 2 fat ass kids.
Well, blame the doctors.
What doctors?
Blame the doctors for giving those handicap cards.
Oh,
the doctor signed it for them.
Man. I would love to get one myself just so I could park in it and block all the fat asses from parking in them.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on.
Yeah, that frustrates crap out of me. All right, so, we're doing this podcast. We're doing our thing. We haven't talked a ton about politics. But you can't not talk about Trump getting shot. Which, by the way, if that had been a Republican shooter, he'd have made it. He'd have gotten Trump with that big old melon of his. He'd have got it.
It wasn't a Republican shooter?
So I found this out because I got curious. He's actually a registered Republican, but is donated to like far left-wing deals. But I found out that a lot of people in Pennsylvania will register as an adversary to their party. So if you're a Democrat, you would register as a Republican so that you can mess up the Republican primaries. Because if you're a registered Democrat in the state of Pennsylvania, you can only vote for the Democratic candidate. So you have to pick between all the different Democratic candidates. But if you're registered as a Republican, you can basically, pick somebody you think's going to lose the race. I thought it was interesting.
So he's mad. He's mad.
The dude has no social media. They found absolutely nothing that states anything. He was a loner. He was, it's funny. You see these kids he went to school with talk about how, he was bullied, and this, that, and the other. And, obviously he went to the gun range. He would go to the gun range. Obviously it didn't do him good because he missed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what, he got off 4 or 5 shots? And that dude has a head this big.
And from what I've seen, it wasn't really that far.
150 yards.
That's not far for a shooter.
Not for a shooter.
Not for a sniper, but he's like a rookie, basically. He didn't do a good job.
Nope.
Well, I don't condone any shooting whatsoever.
No.
Put that on record.
Yeah.
Not for anybody. Anybody. No presidents. No anybody of any race. No fat asses. Nobody. I don't condone any shooting for that. Just put that on record. And I really do say that. You could have handled that in a different way. Maybe go kick him in the ankle or something. But no shooting. Stop it.
Yeah, and they kept a lot of shows off of, a lot of the divisive news networks yesterday, mainly because, and you had people who've been trashing Trump forever, talking about how, our we hope he's okay. This is not all right. And that they're sitting there in the background going, how did he miss that pumpkin head? They're upset about it.
That doesn't solve anything. So
it doesn't. But the hatred that each party, and I don't get it. I don't get how we dislike how it's gotten that this bad. We've talked about news organizations. You can't be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not be divisive. You have nothing else to say. If it was the actual news, the standard news, it would be boring. I mean, it would be utterly boring. And so you have everybody talking about, we need unity and we need, all these different things. We'll see what happens. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm kind of curious to see how long it'll last.
What I'm surprised about that whole situation is that it really wasn't publicized. Like, I didn't find out later on that night, and it happened in, I don't know, like 6 hours prior. You think that on your phone you'd have pop up blown up about the whole situation, and I didn't even know about it. I mean, that's like a big headline. It wasn't really publicized. So that means that people, the news networks who provide the news for the people, didn't care too much to even bother put it on the news so it can be out there. So to me, that thinks maybe they didn't even believe it.
Yeah, I saw nothing on social media for the longest time. I was very surprised about that because I thought, you're going to get a ton of these videos of people in the audience. All the good videos, are going to get sold. I have no idea how much TMZ paid for that video of the guy who basically recorded him going up and crawling up the building. But any of the really good videos, that tell you exactly what happened, I guarantee those, the people that own those were holding on to them and basically shopping them. Like, who's going to pay you for this?
Wow.
100%. That's why you didn't see that video for a long time. They were like, hey, NBC, how much you want to pay for this video?
Yeah, I got the best video out.
Yeah.
But one thing I wouldn't have done is getting shot at by a sniper is fist pumping. You get shot at, your ear almost got blown off, and then you get up, like, dude, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, that's just me. My own little humble opinion. That's all. That
Yeah,
is
I'm
all.
curious to see. I'm gonna be
Yep.
curious to see how much he got paid for that. But yeah, the
Well,
RNC had they nominated their vice president. You know, they have the Republican conventions this week. JD Vance is the vice president candidate. He's
who's
basically
that?
young.
Who,
He's basically young Trump.
oh, it's another one of those guys.
Well, the funny thing is, in 2016, he came out and said that he hated Trump. Before Trump was elected to president, he hated him.
Oh,
He
he's
was
a
a never
Ohio
Trump.
guy.
Yeah.
They want those votes. That's the last.
Now he already has Ohio.
No. I know, but it's an assurance now. You can always speculate. Yeah, we got it. But there's always a little bit of smidge on, on things. That's for anything. But when this comes to this particular situation, it's done, 100%.
Shit, it was done the moment he got shot. The moment he got shot and stood up, Biden should have just called Trump and said, "All right, man, it's yours."
Well, what's going to be interesting is what Biden's going to do right now. Let's see what he's going to pull up.
I'm curious to see how Trump had, and he did. I mean, I watched NBC the Today Show this morning, and Trump came. Trump was at the Republican convention, which is not usual. Very somber. Not really. Not acting a fool. Not doing. Is this truly going to humble him? Will he be humbled by this, or going to go right
Him?
back to our
Oh, no.
I don't know. But remember, he's a genius at marketing. There's no denying it. So does he realize, hey, okay, I need to shift and pretend to be this humbled person that is now thankful for my life? And do I tone it down and ride this wave?
He's going to ride it like the
Right.
best surfer in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
He's gonna be riding that surf better than the main actor on that old movie Point Break. Who was that? Swayze?
Patrick Swayze. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna ride better than him, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm. It's gonna be interesting because his first speech is gonna be Thursday, I think. That'll be Trump's first speech since. But all of his social posts have been very, humbling. Have been very low key. Nothing crazy. I do love how they've said that. This is, God was looking over me, and I'm like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, and don't get me wrong, I don't make fun of any, and I don't make fun of anybody's faith, but does that mean you're not going to lie anymore? Thou shalt not lies in the Bible, fool.
Yeah. This is a guy that was holding the Bible upside down when he's trying to present it.
Yeah. It's just, I'm very curious to see if, is it actually going to, are you actually going to stick with it? Or are you just going to go right back to being
He's going to go right back. He's going to go back to being who he is. And that's fine. That's fine. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Okay, in other news, hey, did you hear about Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer Terrell Davis?
No.
He was on a plane ride from Orange County. And the story is that his wife and his 3 kids on a plane, and I'm assuming the way they described it, that his son was sitting in front of him. He asked the flight attendant for ice. Terrell had heard his son ask for ice, so he tapped the flight attendant on the shoulder. And can you please give my son some ice? So the flight attendant yelled or something, don't hit me, or anything like that. And from the story, that's all that happened. So when they land, the pilot tells the whole plane to stay in their seats. And 6 FBI agents came and got Terrell, handcuffed him, and took him off the plane in front of his kids. He said it's a false accusation of the flight attendant hitting him. So, getting the story straight, anything, they said they uncuffed him out there. I'm just guessing, like, whatever office they took him from the plane, and they let him go. So United Airlines had came in and said they just suspended the flight attendant, and they probably won't see him no more. But the point is that if I was Terrell Davis, what would I do? Do I want a settlement, or do I want free first class seats for the rest of my life?
Free first class seats, which also boot anybody out of their seat. I don't care who's on that plane. If I want on that seat, that's my seat. You need to get that fool off this plane. That will come in, and y'all can deal with that fool later.
I want 2A every flight I go.
Yeah.
2A.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care if the flight's full. You need to get whoever's in 2A, you need to get them off the plane.
Get them out of
my
here.
Seat. Put my name on it. Every plane you got on 2A, I want my name. That is my. I want. You might as well just put. Don't ever. Just don't sell it. Call me before you sell that seat and say, hey, do you what are you coming today? I don't care. You call.
Do you want to come?
Yeah.
Do you want to come? Hey, you got a United flights going to New York. Do you want to come? Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll be there later. Yeah. Hey,
Mr. Owens.
If I'm late, don't leave.
But you had a good idea. If somebody buys that seat, you get the money. How about that?
That'll work. And then or say, okay, or I'm going to take $100 million cash settlement.
The funny thing is, though, him being pulled off the plane in cuffs is a whole nother lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming it's the TSA and Air Marshal.
That's federal. They said FBI agents.
That's unusual. Normally it'd be like the Air Marshals, which is still federal. Anything having to do with it is going to be federal. But that's a whole nother. There's no probable cause. You did no investigation. You literally walked on a plane, took the word of this idiot, and put me in handcuffs without probable cause. I'm assuming that's going to be interesting.
Man, they always throw the cuffs on without probable cause, arrest now, ask questions later. I mean, I'm not even totally against it, but just to save everybody, you don't know what's going on. Like, say if the people in the back of the plane working in the front of the plane don't know what's going on. Safety is important. Even if it was wrong, you don't know. People don't know if it's totally wrong at the beginning. So,
right, but if you're sitting in your seat, I mean, this isn't like he's standing up being verbally, and I don't know, that's a good question too. But if he's not standing up being verbally abusive, they could literally say, so-and-so, I need you to stay in your seat. We're going to let everybody off the plane, then we're going to figure out what happened. Or, hey, because usually, how many agents was it?
It said 6.
So you sent 6 motherfuckers onto a plane. You don't have to handcuff anybody. Hey, sir, can you and your son? I mean, I don't know how old his son is. The son's little. You're gonna have to get him too. But if he's not, hey, Mr. Owens, we're gonna take you. Tell the kid, when you get out, this is where you need to go. Come with us. You got.
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do. They're gonna get on the plane first. They're not gonna wait till everybody get off and tell him sit down. No, they get on the plane and take him off.
Well, fine. You don't need to take him off in handcuffs. Not when it's. I mean, you could have asked a few people. You could have taken her off the plane, asked the people right there, hey, what happened? Well, he tapped her on her shoulder and she started screaming that he hit her. He didn't. Great. Hey, Mr. Owens, can you come with us? We're going to get this sorted out either. Which in my belief with that, because that means she called it in, right? I'm a true.
Says a he.
Oh, he called it in to them.
See,
I
you
personally
can't do
believe
that these days. You can't assume that the flight attendant was a
that
she.
is that is true.
That's a lawsuit right there.
That is. I'm gonna
No,
get
it said
hashtagged.
it said the flight attendant was a he. He.
But see, I'm a true believer in this because if let's just say that all the witnesses in whatever decided not to say anything, and by having him arrested, he's in essence pressing charges. Whatever crime that Terrell Owens would have been charged or convicted with, right? Whatever degree, it should have a matching counterpart, right? Supplying, filing a false or making a false accusation or filing a false police report. So if it's a class A misdemeanor, the filing false police report would be a class A misdemeanor. If it's a felony, then it's a felony. You can't just accuse people of whatever you want. Well, actually, you can right now. And everybody's like, oh, well, that's their truth. Well, fuck your truth, because your truth would have put somebody in jail for a few years. You can't just get away with that.
But, it is the culture these days, arrest first, ask questions later, especially on a plane. But you got to think of this as an incident that involves a regular person. Yes, Hall of Famer, NFL guy, he's who he is, Mr. Davis. He used the bomb diggity back in the day with the Broncos. But you got to think about regular people. All this stuff on the videos and Instagram and X and all that other stuff, whatever's shown on any platform, some of these people are going nuts. Like on a plane. Nuts, belligerent, yelling, doing all that type of stuff. So for me, if I was a law enforcement person, I'm not going to get all scratched up and have to deal with somebody fighting or possibly injure another passenger on the plane. I'm putting the cuffs on you. Even if, whether you're acting like an idiot or whether you're going to come peacefully like Terrell Davis did. I'm putting the cuffs on you. I'll take them off when we get off. But my responsibility is to do this as safely as possible for everybody on the plane. So I don't blame them for doing it. Once they found out, I'm just going by the story. I don't know what more or less is add to it. They said they took the cuffs off when they got off the plane once they found out everything was wrong. I mean, now, Flo, if that was you, would you be pissed off? Yes, I would be pissed off. But I'm just speaking generally as the situation as a law enforcement officer getting on the plane. Because, and I'm thinking of as a passenger with all the flying I do, a passion, like if this person right here is going nuts on, he's fighting with the officers and everything, they all falling on me and all that other crap, spitting and sweating junk getting on me.
Bleeding.
And what if you get punched and blood get on me? I mean, that's how I'm thinking.
Those will be like,
yeah, put the cuffs on that fool.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the officers for doing what they're doing. If they happen to be, yes, I'll be pissed. What they need to do is fire that flight attendant for causing all that commotion in the first place. And
no, they need to charge him.
They need to charge him. They need to charge him. And they said the passenger said, the people all on there said he did nothing wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. But so they should go and charge.
But what if they hadn't? But see, that's my thing. What if they hadn't? What if all the passengers were like, nah, we're not going to piss off United? What would he have been charged with?
I think most people would have just, you fly and everything. Well, most people are like, oh, he didn't do anything. Most people will say he didn't do anything. But that's not going to stop them from doing their jobs. But I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
So, moving on. We got this one, man, we've been on a whole hour. I love it. We're going to talk about the modern day cancers of the locker room. Football. No, it could be basketball too. Who are you going to talk about?
I'd probably start with Russell Wilson.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness.
So I've never been in a locker room at that level. So I have to say I don't really I can't really say what it's like. But somebody told me he had his own quarterback coach. Um, he didn't really participate with a lot of the other players. He was basically just, you know, pissed.
Uh, I heard that he did have his own quarterbacks coach in the Denver Broncos before Sean Payton got there. So, I mean, I did 13 years. And
Did you have your own coach?
No, I had to settle for Hudson Hawk, who was a tight ass, and Frank Verducci. And I can't think of the others right now, but it popped in my mind. But out of all the quarterbacks I had, and most players that did 10, 12 years probably had 2 or 3, and I had like 15. none of them had their own quarterbacks coach. Whatever you come in with, whatever head coach has offense coordinator, they had the quarterbacks coach, right? Never had I heard that, hey, coach, I just got signed and everything, and I love being a part of Chicago Bears. I love being a part of the Dallas Cowboys. I love being a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I need my own coach.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hire this guy. No, you got to pay this guy to be a coach. I want my own coach. You know how ridiculous that sound?
Yeah.
How ridiculous that sound? And you know what? It's always a culture in the locker room that a lot of people don't know about everything. It's kind of funny, actually. It is funny. We joke around and stuff, and everything's not on the media, but I can picture right now me being in the locker room, the Dallas Cowboys locker room, let's say my 5th year, and those guys in there. And as soon as we sit and get a break, it'd be like, hey, man, you believe Russell Wilson? What, man, what? He got his own quarterback coach. What? hey. Hey, that fool got his own quarterback coach. They going to pay him? Oh, the team said they're going to pay. Oh, man, that's messed up. Well, I want a new offensive line coach. I want to bring my own offensive line coach in here. Because I don't like the one that we got. You can keep him, but let me have my own.
Yeah, and who was the guy who played for the wide receiver who played for the Raiders, then went to Tampa and quit too?
Antonio Bryant.
Yeah. Oh, Antonio Brown. Yeah.
Antonio Brown, yes.
That to me would be toxic.
Well, I don't think he asked for his own coach, though.
No.
But you're going to think about guys that are trouble on teams. He was trouble. And that situation about a helmet, that was about a helmet. I would like to think that it was more than just a helmet, but we're just going to go with the narrative of being a helmet. That's what it was reported on through the media and everything, a helmet. Well, you're Antonio Brown. You had 4 or 5 Pro Bowl before you got to the Raiders. You could have called, if you didn't know what your helmet was, you could have called the Steelers and talked to those equipment guys. They'd have told you what kind you had. And they could have told the Raiders, like, hey, this is the type of helmet that Antonio Brown likes. And they would have purchased that helmet for Antonio Brown and paint it and put the Raider on the side, or it comes painted, or whatever it is. And if you didn't like that helmet, they have 3, 4 helmets for you in the equipment room. He could have went to the Steelers, like, send me that helmet. I want my old helmet.
Yeah.
And give it to the Raiders. They take it, get it painted. I mean, the helmet is nothing but paint. It's paint. And the line on the top, there's the stickers. They could have painted and put the sticker on. Hey, Raiders, just like that.
Done.
Done.
Yeah.
which made me think that it was more than just the helmet. And then him getting down to Tampa, I don't know. I don't know. Only thing, I mean, he won the Super Bowl, but it's overshadowed by him taking his jersey off and his shirt off and running off the field during the middle of the game and quitting.
He didn't win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
No.
Yeah, that's why Tom Brady brought him in.
No, he didn't win no Super Bowl.
You sure?
No, I'm not sure. You got me questioning myself. Yep, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. 2021. That's not that long ago.
Yep.
Yeah, it was him and those other receivers they still have right there. Yeah, he won the Super Bowl, but that guy right there is something special. He's something special. But it's a shame to see a guy with that talent and that caliber go out that way. He could have played another 3-4 years if he wanted to, but it just didn't work.
You could have
out
gone
that
out.
way.
You could. I mean, you had plenty of money. Just go out with some class. Be like, hey, man, I'm done.
Some people don't
All
think
the
like
things.
that. They don't think like that. Just like regular people don't think about things they did or something, and then it comes down to whether it's 1, 2 days, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. You're gonna go eventually and regret that decision.
Well, and I doubt LT, being toxic, a lot of that's, blaming other people for things. And one thing that got me, and this, obviously this happened a while back. I think it happened a while back. No. April of this year. LaDainian Tomlinson on a podcast said that he believed that the San Diego Chargers offensive coordinator, Cam Cameron, deliberately lost the 2007 AFC playoff contest.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that LaDainian said it, or that Cam?
I don't believe that he tossed the game like that. I don't believe that Cam Cameron tossed the game.
I can't believe it. I mean,
is that verified that he said that?
Oh yeah.
What is he trying to like? What he must don't like Cam Cameron.
Oh, if you'd have looked at him, he was high as hell too.
Oh, he was high. Is it one of them podcasts with smoking weed and stuff?
Nah, I don't know if it was, but I mean, he looked like he was high. Like, I ain't mad at you for doing what you do. You're retired. You can do what you want to do.
You do what you want to do. Well,
but you might want to put a filter on your ass.
Well, I am providing for my audience, our audience, and everything I say is only on my opinion. And that is a very, very 99.9999999% that didn't happen. And I probably had, including all the coaches on each team for 13 years, probably total 50, 60 damn coaches, and none of those guys will throw the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
If a coach were to throw a game, and that's a mighty big if, a 99.9999999% chance they won't do it, it's going to be a regular season game.
Oh,
you're not going to do a game that's going to get you in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Let's screw all that stuff. I'm going to Super Bowl. You want to know how hard it is to go to the Super Bowl? To win Super Bowl?
Well, you've been to the Super Bowl.
And win 13 years.
Yep.
Didn't have a whiff of it until the last year.
Yep.
Not a whiff. For 12 years, it just flew away like the birds leaving its nest. Never had a whiff. Couldn't even smell it.
You did that last year.
Yeah, he did. We did, but it is so uncommon. I mean, you think about all of Super Bowl winners and everything, and think about the players that didn't even go.
It never got close.
You got to think about players that didn't go to playoffs. Like the first person, there's plenty of them out there, but the first person that I think about is that Hall of Fame tackle, Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, he played for the Cleveland Browns. He's considered one of the best tackles in the NFL. I think he's probably 5 years after me, whatever it is. And I think this dude played in one playoff game in 10 years. One. You gonna look it up?
No, I'm actually looking up who I think is the biggest shame.
One playoff game. All right, think of me. I'm not gonna go to the stadium. I'm thinking the Cowboys. In 12 years, I'm just guessing off the top of my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably went to 5 playoff games in 12 years. And won one. Won one.
How many did Dan Marino? Did he get in the playoffs very often?
I know he never won a Super Bowl. I think early in his career he went to the Super Bowl but lost. What was in his way was the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills kept beating up on Miami.
Yeah, and they can. I mean, look at them. 4 straight Super Bowl appearances. Loss. Loss.
Yep.
Loss. Ouch. That had to be painful.
Yeah, he never won a Super Bowl. He had one opportunity to win in 1984 season.
He was the offensive player of the year, most valuable player, comeback player. Oh, no, 1994 was his comeback player. But 84 he had. Yeah. That's a shame.
Oh, here's an article. The 10 best retired quarterbacks who never won a Super Bowl. Boomer Esiason. Matt Ryan.
Yes.
Let's go a little more modern. Steve McNair.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
He's never won one. Donovan McNabb.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
He went to it one with T.O.
He went to it. I remember that.
He never won it. I've got one more. Philip Rivers.
Yep.
Wow. No, I'm thinking about it now. Wow. Jim Kelly went to 4 Super Bowls and never won.
Not one. 4 straight not just 4 Super Bowls.
4 straight.
Year after year.
And even the ones that he just didn't make the championship games, the amount of playoff games this dude went to and still haven't won.
Yep.
Frank Tarkenton. And then number 1, Dan Marino.
Oh, yeah.
That hurts, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. To be that good. I mean, out of all those, you have to feel the most sorry for that entire Buffalo Bills. The guys who were there every single year. Andre Reed,
Bruce Smith.
The running back, Thurman Thomas, Kelly, Hall of Fame guys it was just, 4 times in a row.
And the Cowboys just bah, bah, bah.
Yep. That's a rough one.
Yeah,
that is a rough one.
Very, very rough. But it sucks, man. It sucks. I had one and we lost. That sucks.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It's crazy how it was. Then you got to think about if you want to jump over to the NBA, you got Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing.
Yep.
Those guys never won a NBA championship.
Who else in that? She would.
Yeah.
Did Hardaway ever win? Penny?
Who?
Did Penny?
No, Penny.
Penny never
was hurt so much.
The Detroit won though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah. They won like 2.
With Isaiah?
Yep, with Isaiah. Oh man, here we go. I pulled it up. Well, Reggie Miller.
Oh wow, yeah.
Man, what did he do? Like 15 years? Didn't win one. Vince Carter.
Yeah.
That's surprising. He played 22 years? Something like that. We got He played from 98 to 2020, 22 years. Tracy McGrady has never won one. Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, wow.
Dominique didn't win. Wow. You know, you look back, you say, oh, shoot. Stockton, yep, with Karl Malone. He played 19 years. Patrick Ewing. Steve Nash. Oh, man, he left when the Mavericks won. Allen Iverson.
Woo.
Yep, Karl Malone, 19 years. Charles Barkley. Chris Paul is on his 19th year right now and has not won. Russell Westbrook. This goes on and on. Man, it sucks, man.
Yeah.
It sucks
Yeah,
bad.
Whew. Yeah.
That's something else.
I don't know. We'll see. I've got decent hopes for this year. I'm not doing Super Bowl hopes for the Bears. It's hard for me to say for the Cowboys. You know, you basically have the same team almost. You added Zeke. We'll see what he does. I'm very interested to see what the Steelers do with Russell Wilson. I'm wondering if I always wondered if when Sean Payton took over Denver, if it was just a bad fit. So that's the other prop I give him. I give Russell Wilson. Was it just a bad fit and you two were just conflicting? You just had a massive conflict.
Well, whenever a quarterback, old school head coach like Sean Payton, he's going to go his way, the old school ways, which is close to the old school coaches that I had. And then you got Russell Wilson, who's bougie. He's a bougie player. He came from a bougie franchise. Let him do what he wants to. You didn't hear about anything about Russell Wilson until we went to Denver. That just didn't happen in Denver. It was always happening, but he just won games. You don't hear stuff until you start losing.
Yeah.
So Sean Payton went in and trying to change the culture. I disagree totally with how he handled that situation with publicly calling him out and doing the thing, berating him on the sideline. I don't agree with any of that stuff that Payton did. He could have handled that a million different ways, but he chose to do it that way, which was totally wrong. But him trying to change the culture, going there and do the things that he wanted to do to be able to turn that franchise around, and probably most likely that Russell was not participating in the things that he needs to do to be able to go with changing that culture, which caused Sean to do what he did. So it was easy to dump them, and what did they owe? $40 million, and Sean probably went to the brass and said, if you can do it, cool. We just eat it up and just eat it up, and we're just going to start from the ground up is what they're doing. Just get rid of them and let me do what I do. And that's what happened. That's what happened.
I'm very interested to see how Kirk Cousins does in Atlanta.
Well,
that'll be good. Go Green.
Go MSU. But I think he's just going to air it out like he always does. He's going to have the stats. Now, he has a good receivers and tight end, 2 good receivers and tight end, young guys. And if you're in a fantasy football league, that's going to be one of my quarterbacks.
Hey.
He's going to have some stats. He's going to have some stats. That's all a fantasy football league is about, stats. But when it comes to the big games, especially when it starts hitting what it needs to hit back in December and January with the playoffs, it might change.
Yeah.
It might change. But statistically wise, Kirk Cousins is going to do a good job down in Atlanta.
Curious to see what Jaden Daniels does in Washington. There's a lot of guys out there. You always like to see how the rookies are going to do. Is J.J. McCarthy going to start in Minnesota? How's that going to look?
Yeah, they got a lot of young quarterbacks out these days. Even the young quarterbacks from last year, I'm anxious to see what that Indianapolis quarterback going to do. I think his name is Richardson.
Yeah.
And, the Daniels and Washington, McCarthy's and Minnesota, and a couple of others. I can't think of Stroud. I'm anxious to see what Stroud's going to do in his second year. And I'm really anxious to see what the Carolina quarterback gonna do. What's his name?
Young.
Young.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. That was brutal for him last
Bryce.
year, man. That was
Bryce
brutal.
Young got murdered
That
last
was
year.
brutal, man. I bet this
Yeah.
guy wake up and just going to work in the morning like,
damn it.
oh, man.
Not again today.
Yeah, not again today. And knowing you're going to go in that game and get your ass beat. And I'm not talking about losing the game.
Yeah,
like to
getting
score
run
28.
over.
Yeah, I'm talking about actually physically beat up. That dude is not big. He might be 6 feet. 6 feet up, 200 pounds. Him out there getting beat up, man, please.
Let's see.
So that's probably going to be one of the top players, top young quarterbacks. I'm anxious to see what's going to do this year. So
he's 5'10".
He's 5'10",
204.
So he's probably really 5'9", 195 pounds.
He's shorter and lighter than I am.
Why you draft these little guys, these little midgets out there, man? I mean, your offensive linemen,
5'10".
your offensive linemen are probably averaging 6'4", 6'5". You can't see over, let alone see a lane.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you just gotta throw the ball and hope you're play. I mean, at that height, you just got to, unless you're running out of the pocket, you just got to throw the ball and.
It's about the lanes. It's about the lanes. I've heard short quarterbacks say it's about the lanes. And the play, they already know the play is all about timing. So the ball is thrown most of the time before the wide receiver is broken out of his route. Yeah. So as long as you got a path, like the tackle set right there on a 3rd and long and a guard jump his guy right there, that's the lane that he sees, especially for a short quarterback. But you got Peyton Manning and Tom Brady type guy. Those guys 6'5", 6'6", and the big dude from San Diego, 6'6", Trevor Lawrence, 6'5". It doesn't matter in line. They can see that, boom, just like that. But the shorter guys got to take the lanes.
Yeah, Caleb's what, 6'1", 215?
Yeah, he's middle tier, but more on the short side. So we shall see.
Yeah, I want to see what Baker does. I'm curious to see now that he's got his $100 million. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, let's definitely see what he does. We'll definitely see, man.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all watching. Everybody have a good day, good week. We'll see you soon.